In this podcast, I'm joined by a raw meat eating MMA fighter who goes by the name Holistic Sunny, and we've had a wonderful discussion which went really deep. First, we talked about how eating raw meat and specific recipes from Agne's Wonder Planets made him better at MMA. And then we went deeper and we made fun out of followers of Jack Cruz for doing too much cold exposure. And then we made fun out of followers of Goatis for being afraid to exercise. And then we talked about our life goals, like how to set up a community in the rural countryside, how to get the money, how to find the people to do it with, how to travel the world, some business models in order to make money in today's society, in order to achieve it. Basically, anecdotal experiences which raw meat gave us as athletes. Then making fun of people on TikTok who understand health. And then discussing our life goals or plans for the future and socioeconomic questions. I think this podcast was ultra deep, like the diverse amount of topics we explored. My god. Votan, bless this podcast. It was so goddamn good. So get your raw
With a
milk
particular
and
diet that I
let's
use,
get
which is
started.
all
Hell
raw
yeah.
Foods. I don't even cheat. All raw foods. I eat raw milk, lots of raw eggs, raw meats, chicken, fish, beef, lamb, all of them. It reversed all of my diseases.
When I was about 30 years old, and I decided that I was just not going to live through it again because it was very painful. So I ate the raw meat to kill myself, and it did just the opposite. It invigorated me for the first time in my life.
So, I would introduce myself first. My name is Tomáš. I am 17 years old. I come from Czech, from Pilsen. I go out as Holistic Sunny on social media. The inspiration for that name comes from German or Nordic mythology goddess Sol. That's the goddess of sun.
Goddess.
Yeah, goddess. So I have been eating raw meat for about 1 year and a half or more, and I'm doing MMA for 2 years now. Also, other interests are working out, learning about nutrition, politics, history, everything.
Cool. How did eating raw meat affect your performance in MMA?
So at first, when I started MMA, I wasn't really eating anything primal before practices. I was just basic pre-workout meals like honey with some carbs. But then I started to introduce raw fats combined with carbs into my pre-workout meals, and that extremely helped my performance. For example, before tournaments or serious matches, not practices but matches or fights, you could say, I was drinking lubrication method. If you're primarily, you know what I mean.
Agnes.
Yes, that's from Arjunus, and that has significantly helped me with my performance. It was like a different level when you eat honey with, I don't know, rice cakes or whatever, just some simple carbs or sugars. This is completely different. This will give you instant energy, but it will last much longer. It will last like a whole match till the end and final rounds when most people are exhausted and can't hold on any longer. Doing or using last bits of energy, you will have loads of energy from this. Of course, you have to combine with exercises for aerobic system, or how do I say it?
Cardio.
Just like, yeah, so you have to combine it with exercise to actually get those results. But this, like, way of dieting or diet will extremely help you with performance also, just by itself.
That's cool. And have you noticed only that eating the raw foods improves your performance before you eat them in a fight? Or have you noticed that since you started to eat raw foods and basically the longer you eat the raw foods, then the better you feel in the MMA because of the raw foods? Do you feel like that?
Yes, it must be both, you know. But I felt great doing MMA when I started eating raw meat outside of training, like after training or in the morning or lunch. But when I started to combine it with the loop, it was like 50% better. You know, it was 50% boost from the raw meat and raw diet, but the loop just took it on a whole another level.
That's so cool. Yeah, Agenus recommended the loop for athletes, especially for bodybuilders, let's say, because you have fat inside of your muscles. Like, you don't only have like fat like the subcutaneous fat, you also have fat inside your muscles, and the lubrication formula is like supposed to put fat inside of your muscles or something. Yeah, it's really cool. And when I didn't do MMA, but I did bodybuilding, and when I started to bodybuild, I felt that I literally don't get sore when I eat raw meat. Like
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, you get way less sore. Like your muscles just repair so much faster, and you gain so much weight. Like I gained like 20 pounds of muscle in 1 year of bodybuilding. Like most of it was muscle. It's incredible for athletes. It gives you an incredible competitive advantage. You know, I've had another guest on this podcast. I don't know if I released at the time of recording. It's not released yet, so you don't know. And for the viewer, I don't know if it's released before or after this one. I will decide. But I had another fighter who claimed that carbohydrates are like really important for fighting. So I want to ask you, do you think eating carbs, whether it be raw honey or from cooked starch, or how important do you think it is to eat carbs, and if it's possible to do MMA on like ketogenic diet?
Yeah, so I believe I know that fighter.
Yeah, Emil.
Yes, and yeah, I kind of agree with him, but he's like more of the Ray Pete, or yeah, more Pete, Peter. Yeah, he's a Peter. So I'm not really in that kind of way or direction. I'm more of in the middle, in mix, or I would say primal, just like that. And I think carbs like honey, milk, fruits, and maybe some basic starches like potatoes and rice, but just potatoes, I would say, are okay and kind of needed, because ketogenic state is not. I don't think it's that optimal for fighting. I don't know about day-to-day life. I have tried keto, and I didn't really feel that well. It was like I had some
Brain fog.
no. I had to fast, and then I ate a lot of fats. I was working out with it, so it was like the energy was there and everything, but it just felt weird for me. I guess it's not for me, but sure, for some people, if it works, then I wouldn't mind it. But I think for fighters, it's, I would say, impossible to live without carbs. The minimum is the carbs I just named.
Yeah, like raw honey and yeah, the starches. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh fuck! I just had a question to ask you, but I literally forgot. Good man, what was it? It was something relevant. Yeah. You know, it's going to sound kind of funny, but I've been researching health and raw meat and diet for like 5 years, And despite that, I have no clue who the hell Ray Pete is. Like I've heard some summaries or something, but I don't know who the hell is Ray Pete and what does he stand for. Can you like explain in a like short way like who was Ray Pete and what is his teaching like or something?
No way ML didn't tell you about Pete.
Bro, he didn't at all. We had like,
Oh my
bro,
god.
bro, we had a
Well,
podcast which was like 2.5 hours long. We talked about absolutely everything, and we only quit because I had another podcast, and he never mentioned Pete once. And before that,
oh my
ever again, like we had so many calls on Discord, like in the Czech sphere, and he never talked
Yeah.
about Pete, bro.
Yeah, but he's like he mentioned it in his stories, I think. But
Yeah, I
never
don't, I
mind.
don't use Instagram probably too much. That's probably the problem.
Oh yeah. Well, shortly, he's a dietitian that also advocated for raw meat, but
Cool.
he was this dietitian that promoted thyroid health and metabolic health really bad. It was like his number one rule that thyroid is everything and all that, which I somewhat agree. Thyroid is really important, but he made it like thyroid is everything.
Yeah,
so
and we'll
I
talk
take
about
it.
thyroid a lot in the podcast.
Okay. Well, have you talked about thyroid with ML? So you talk about also cold exposure and
yeah, we did. We talked
okay.
extensively on it. Yeah.
Okay, well that's nice. So yeah, he promoted this, and he was like he promoted raw meat also. He ate raw liver, I think, and raw meat, but he promoted a diet heavily based on fruits and vegetables, not vegetables like leafy greens, but carrots, tomatoes, cucumber, and this.
Yeah. So kind of like Paul Saladino type guy.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I actually tried to look who Ray Pete is on YouTube, and I found like Paul Saladino podcast comparing animal-based diet compared to Ray Pete diet. I've listened to the whole thing, and I still had no clue what Ray Pete diet is about.
Oh my god.
Bro.
Well, Paul Saladino is also like the Ray Pete, Arjunus, I would say Godis, and Paul Saladino are like the top 5 like ambassadors for raw meat, I think.
Yeah.
Or is Paul Saladino for raw meat? Also, I saw him eating raw liver.
Yeah, for some reason, a lot of people who don't eat raw meat eat raw liver, as in you say, I don't know why, but when it's liver and it's
Wow.
full of nutrients and it's acceptable, so. But he had like this reel when he was interviewing Robert Kennedy in the White House, and he made a reel
Yeah.
about drinking a milkshake from raw milk and raw meat. Like he had raw meat in a milkshake, so he somewhat
Yeah.
advocates for it. He even says he ate raw meat sometimes, but he doesn't push it. But like yeah, raw organs he does that, and he sells like supplements when like supplements are
Yeah, I
bad,
saw that.
and Agilus like talk about a lot about supplements being fake and you need to make them in a lab or you need to extract them by using some chemical process which is dangerous or whatever. However, the supplements which Paul Saladino sells are just like dried organs in a pill, so it's not harmful at all, and people actually like benefit from it. So he advocates for raw milk, for avoiding plastics, for not touching receipts. He basically advocates for everything right. Like the only problem is he eats a fuck ton of fruit. That's probably not even a problem in his environment because he has so much sun. It's like okay-ish, but yeah. Besides the ton of fruit, like he promotes a very healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, I think Paul is nice, but the fruit kind of threw me off. Yeah, he is eating a lot of fruit.
Yeah. I would say it's not that big of a problem in his environment. However, it probably is because he looks like he ages really
Yeah.
fast. Like yeah,
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, and
That was really bad.
yeah, And then the problem is that he says that people should eat ton of carbs and fruit, even if they like live in the winter environment or something, which I never ate a
Well,
lot of it. Like I never ate like Saladino diet, but like right now I'm like ketogenic for the winter because I get acne from eating sugar. Like I don't get acne from glucose like from starches, but I get acne from how do you call it, sucrose,
yeah,
fructose.
sugar.
So yeah, so or
Yeah.
lactose. Like so I'm ketogenic right now, and what I
Okay.
noticed that I all my life I used to get cold hands and feet, especially in winter. Even on the primal diet when I ate fruit in winter. And now that I don't eat fruit in winter and I eat ketogenic, I never have cold hands and feet. I feel very warm all the time.
Wow.
That's a cool one.
That's really cool, man. Well, this is a lot of problem for young guys. I've noticed this trend. You are not on social media that much, but if you would have, you would notice that there is a big trend right now. People have like popularized thyroid and thyroid health, and everybody is coping now that thyroid health, no, poor thyroid equals cold feet and cold hands. And people have learned this, and it's a trend now that when you feel cold outside, it's fucked up thyroid. But could be also this.
Yeah, I've heard it, yeah, somewhat. Thyroid and cold, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Jack Cruz and these people popularize it a lot. Like you need cold exposure for your thyroid health. Like, I don't know, maybe somewhat. Who knows?
Yeah, but people use it, or you overuse it. I would say overuse it nowadays, and fake that they, are in winter with a shirt on only, and they are cold, but they are making TikTok videos like they have proper thyroid and all this.
Yeah,
So that was
yeah,
funny.
it might be healthy for your thyroid, but I have experienced that I did too much cold exposure and fucked up my adrenal glands. Like each time you do cold
Yeah.
exposure, like I literally run outside shirtless before I even ate raw meat for like the whole winter and did cold showers all the time because I was depressed and it was the lockdown and I had nothing to do. And doing the cold exposure, it gave me like dopamine and adrenaline rush,
Yeah.
which like makes you feel good for a few hours. And I was doing that too much, and then it fucked up my mental health. And when I described it to someone, he said it was like destroyed adrenal glands, which usually happens when you abuse caffeine. So abusing cold exposure is similar to abusing caffeine. Your body is literally thinking it's about to die. Like people say,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it's healthy because it raises your dopamine, but it raises your adrenaline and noradrenaline. And whenever you raise these two, it's very likely that your dopamine will rise as well, together with these hormones to like let you survive. So yeah, I did like 2 hour long video on cold exposure when I just completely ranted on not liking it. It's like some cold exposure can be cool, like when you are too warm in winter outside and you take your shirt off to cool yourself down, and then you get warm
Yes.
again, or your feet get too warm in your shoes and you put them into the snow, or you get your face something, but not doing deliberate brutal cold exposure like getting an ice bath every day. That's excessive. Yeah.
Exactly. My words. Yeah, and that's what it's about, These people, they don't really even engage in nutrition and they do this.
Yeah.
So I think it's counterproductive.
Yeah. I actually hate.
Also, Nick,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You
sorry.
continue. You continue.
Well, I wanted to move on another topic that's also a TikTok trend, but you can go on.
Yeah. Okay. I will just one last thing. Like you said that people don't even do nutrition and they do this. Do you know what is even worse than like doing cold exposure and not caring about nutrition? Most of these people are like followers of the quantum biology from Jack Cruz or something. And most of these people actually eat raw meat and have like very strict diets. Like most of them are ketogenic and all. Most of people like this have stricter diets than primal dieters. And they are so strict with their diets and eat a very high fat raw animal meat diet. And at the
Yeah.
same time, they say, oh yeah, diet and nutrition is not as important. Let's do cold exposure or something like that. Like, they get so many benefits from doing the diet, and they completely downplay it and put all of the spotlight on cold exposure. Yeah. That's kind of funny.
Wow.
You can move on the topic that you wanted to talk about.
Well, when we talked about the trends, I wanted to talk about next thing that was popularized by Godis, and it was the don't stress, or not don't stress, but it was the working out makes you stressed, and you shouldn't do it because in nature you don't do it, and you should avoid stressing to live forever, etc., etc.
Yeah, that's a really good topic to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, or my claim is that no stress doesn't equal no cortisol, because we should yes, we should like avoid excess stress, like chronic stress, but we should use I don't know how to really translate it, but hormeze, you know how to translate it?
Hormeze. I don't
Yeah,
actually. I
that's
don't.
like
Lol.
that's like stress that helps your body, like working out. It's a stress,
Yeah, it's
yes,
like
but it helps your body.
hormesis. Yeah. Hormesis.
Excuse me, you know?
Yeah. Hormesis.
Yeah, hormesis. So, like working out or cold exposure, for example, it's stress that helps your body to get stronger, or build stronger immune system, whatever, however you want to call it, but it helps the body, and that's why I think Gotis is coping in this state.
Yeah. I'm actually don't know about hormesis. I don't know about the biochemistry, and I could say like, yeah, maybe working out will make you live shorter a bit, somewhat, but like who cares? Like if you eat raw meat and you work out like 3 times a week, like something which is completely manageable, you are not sore, and your body can completely recover from it, then it you just I don't see it causing any damage to. Like maybe you will in theory live like 5 years less if you work out 3 times a week, and you perfectly recover from it. Like it's insignificant if your body can handle it because you don't do any excess and you recover very well. Then I think it's fine. That's the first thing, and the second, like life is kind of more fun when you
Yeah,
are exercising
exactly.
somewhat. Like you can say, oh yeah, it's not fun because you make bad facial expressions and you experience pain and whatever. But like, bro, I'm so tired of this culture of people who sit behind their computers and say that exercise is unhealthy because like
Exactly.
if you go into a ring and you smash, you literally violently submit another human to your will, and you force him to, you beat him up and you like force him to submit to you, like the feeling of power you get, that's like so cool. And you could say, yeah, but you are just trying to imitate hunting. Okay, that might be true. You might be a slave trying to imitate hunting. However, you are still imitating the hunting, and you are still getting the beautiful hormonal response of
Exactly.
imitating the hunting. It's better than not imitating the hunting and just being like doing nothing with your computer. Like this is going to be a completely, no, that's a bad example. But yeah, like it will make you more of a man if you exercise, because if you, let's say, do some sport during puberty, like rugby or American football or wrestling, let's say wrestling, then your body has to adapt to the stress of wrestling other people. And your body will develop to be a body of someone who is trying to submit other people to his will. Your body will be body of someone who is trying to be stronger than other human beings. Like if you put it to the stress of your body having to adapt and to have to become stronger than other men, to submit other men to your will, then your body will just adapt to the stress and it will look and develop in a different way. Your body will develop to be a body which is meant to submit other human beings. Compare that to someone who does no sports at all. then your body will develop to be body of someone who sits on his ass and goes on hikes sometimes. Like you will just develop to be less of a man if you're a completely sedentary. Like if you overtrain, if you like this is complete fallacy from Gotis's side. Like people think that people who go to the gym and do sports train all of them train 6 times a week and eat unnatural food and whatever. These people,
Yeah.
sure, these are completely fucked, but he literally would equate someone who trains 3 times a week and eats raw meat with like if it was the same thing like someone who overtrains and undereats. Yeah.
Exactly. I agree with you. I couldn't agree more with you. This culture, the Godis fan base culture, is like fucking up this working out thing. They are completely making or changing the how we should view the working out culture. I think when you look at it, or I don't think I see it in myself. You know, when I look at these people that claim that working out stresses you, never stress, blah blah blah. They are so feminine, man. They look unhealthy, even though they eat the best diet I have ever seen. They eat brains, whatever, so much cholesterol. But these building blocks for hormones, they aren't used properly because they aren't living properly, or they are living like a fucking granddad that can't even move, bro. They should be warriors. They
Bro.
talk about some, you are warrior here to conquer, but they don't do shit.
Fuck yeah, that's so true, bro. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Godis community is like full, not full, but most of them are LARPers. But he has some good claims and popularized raw meat really,
Yeah.
really big.
Like-
So I think
Like overall, I think Gotis is a good influence for humanity because
yeah,
like if you eat raw meat, you know, agenus, and you are in this space, then if you follow Gotis, then your life will be worse, most likely. However, if you don't know anything about raw meat, you are completely new, then if you follow Gotis, then your life will be better. Like the optimal lifestyle whatever is like at the level 100, and the Gotis is like at level 60, and most people are at like level who don't know about raw meat. They are at like level 20, and when Gotis goes out there and he attracts like tens or hundreds of thousands of people over the time to his content, then you have hundreds of, okay, not hundreds, but you have tens of thousands of people going from level
Yeah.
20 to level 50. Yeah, so I think it's a positive influence, and I'm actually glad that like there are Gotis cult like followers out there. Like I never want to be a Gotis cult like follower and whatever, and I don't like these people, but it's way better for these people to be Gotis followers than to be like people who go to gym 6 times a week and drink protein shakes. Yeah, I agree with that.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see yourself, the raw meat is getting really like mainstream, or
Yeah.
not raw meat, but
Yeah, I'm
it's
actually
getting
shocked. It's true. Yeah, continue.
yeah, it's on the internet, and I can see it. Like I can see people actually eating raw meat a lot. When I saw your video
Yeah.
that basically got me into raw meat. When I saw it, you had like so many haters, man. It's still out there, but it just got more followers now and supporters. I'm surprised.
Yeah, me too. Bro, when I started with raw meat when I was like 16, which is almost 5 years ago, bro, no one ate raw meat. There were like 2 YouTubers and like a
Yeah.
Facebook group. There was a Facebook group with 100 people in it from Agnes Wonderplan's The Raw Primal Diet, and then like 2 YouTubers, and that's all of the raw meat eaters on internet. Period. Now, when you go on TikTok, you will scroll for 1 minute and you will see someone eating raw meat. There is so many people eating raw meat, like so
Yeah,
goddamn
exactly.
much. It's kind of cool, but it's at one side it's good for humanity. At older, it pisses me off sort of because I'm kind of like a boomer, thinking about the old times when I was one of the 5 people who ate raw meat. And I've seen this video. He deleted it, but it's from Scott Hall, which is like one of the few YouTubers ever 5 years ago about raw meat. And he made a video recently which he deleted. Like he's annoyed with how mainstream raw meat is gotten and how
Yeah.
every teenager who eats raw meat is a coach now. Like everyone sells raw primal coaching, and he was so annoyed with it. Like yeah,
Oh yeah, I have the same stance on this. It's really popularized now, and everybody eats raw meat. Some of them don't even know why are they eating raw meat. Like they don't know the benefits or or they haven't debunked the risks yet. They just eat it for the attention.
yeah, it's cool. I guess it's kind of cool, even if they don't understand it, but they still do it. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. We can see the influence, so we can see the things or the changes are possible. So that gives us hope, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Raw meat.
Also,
Yeah.
yeah,
Speak.
continue.
No, I wanted to randomly say something about uh, the game of humanity right now isn't really about raw meat or bad meat or whatever.
Yeah.
It's about rising towards against the people in power who try to enslave us. But I wanted to say that
Yes.
if you
Well,
eat raw meat, then you are way more likely to see between the lines and between lies the
exactly.
of the behemoth which rules this land.
Wow,
And
you really want to go there.
yeah, and all of these people like eating raw meat. If you eat raw meat, then most likely you know about injections being bad and stuff like that,
Yes.
and then you probably know that your government isn't your friend. When you know your government isn't your friend, then you are less likely to die in a war for it and stuff. It's just a snowball effect. More people eating raw meat is like good for humanity overall down the line. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Well, to connect on the raw meat going mainstream, or yeah, mainstream, I would say. It's connected now. I have also seen, I don't know if you have, but I have seen so many people connect the raw meat with lux maxing. People who have been on lux maxing or are black pillars are now starting to eat raw meat for the benefits to ascend.
So yeah, to look better. Yes, I noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I agree. Although I agree basically because health equals looks or development, and yeah, that's looks basically. So I somewhat agree, and that's also good.
I'm sorry, I was drinking water and I just breathed it in. Oh, sorry.
Bless you.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Well, this I don't know I have seen raw meat or black pillars advocate for raw meat, and that's definitely better than advocating for synthetic drugs or synthetic hormones injected into your body with needle or orally or whatever. Just that's the better side of the black pill community.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see in the next generation to see all these people, all these Luxmaxers, like how many people are going to grow up eating raw meat. Like when there's so much people eating raw meat and quite a lot of them. Yeah, also all of these people are brainwashing themselves in a good way to believe that having a lot of children is the best thing in life, which is good that these people think that. And it might even be true.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's probably true. But these people are going to have a bunch of children and feed them perfect food and have them in good light and in good like sunlight and healthy environment basically. And you're going to see hundreds of no, okay, not hundreds, but thousands of people raise children fed on raw meat who look like Dolph Lundgren And when
Yeah,
these
exactly.
children are going to be compared to children of modern society, when they have underbites, braces, glasses, acne, Ritalin, and all that shit, it will just become so
Yes.
apparent the difference. Like Angelus talked about intelligence of kids who grow up eating raw meat and raw milk being just so high. They can learn to read so quickly. They are just completely outstanding. And if you have a whole generation of where like one okay like 0.01%, which is a lot across the entire earth, are going to be complete intellectual Dolph Lundgren, Luke Smacked, whatever. I'm so excited for that, and myself, I want to have children
Yeah.
who will look like Dolph Lundgren as well. And I'm like 6 foot. I'm like 6'6", so I also want a wife who is like 6 foot, and my children will be taller than Halfdan Bjornsson.
Holy shit. That might be next Dolphs, right?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, if you feed them like colostrum or raw milk and liver and all that
yeah,
from from birth, that would be insane.
yeah, bro. Agenus, he made like a baby formula for. It doesn't really
Oh,
matter because
really?
yeah, he made like baby formula with raw milk, raw butter, and raw liver from white meat, because white
Wow.
meat is like less. Basically, red meat is like your muscles and hormones, and white meat is like your brain. So he by default he used like white meat, I believe, but after
Okay.
the baby is weaned off the raw milk or the baby formula and has to start eating raw foods, then he said that I remember it from one of his workshops that he had some martial artist who had a baby, and he asked him like, "Do you want to have like super athlete champion baby, or do you want to have like smarter baby?" So he wanted like a smarter baby, so he told him to basically continue feeding him the formula and like milk and milk based products and stuff like that. But if he wanted like a fucking athlete, like a Dolph Lundgren, like a Halfdan Bjornsson, like a
Yeah,
complete overman demigod, then he would
got
he,
it.
he would need to feed him like red meat and like organs, like red meat organs when he was little, like probably take like how do you call it, food processor, that like the stronger blender, and get like
Yeah,
red
yeah, yeah.
meat and like blenderize it and feed the child red meat, like the first meat after first food after not eating I mean first food after something else
Liquid.
than milk. You get him like red
Yeah.
meat and give him mostly red meat, and that will supposedly make him into a champion. But if you have a baby
Wow.
like that, then you need to homeschool him or to have some sports school or something, because if you have a baby who grows up eating raw red meat and organs to that, then if you go send him into a normal public school, it will be a complete torture. The baby will not be able to sit behind the desk. You will need to be
Yeah.
rich and to be able to afford like homeschooling or something like that.
Well, that's the problem I see mostly with these. People would love to like feed their kids raw meat, raw dairy, and everything, but the problem is the cost of living and cost of having children. You want to live in a safe and healthy environment. So I would say countryside somewhere, maybe with a farm. That would be ideal, but just the countryside. And you would want to homeschool the kid. So you would need well, first thing, that's the house.
Yeah.
The house today, most young don't even I have read that one third of young generation, like to 30 years old in Czech, can afford house living in living. And that's crazy because what used to be normal was people would be moving out at 18 or uh, this age, 18, 20, whatever.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's impossible, even with two incomes, when women and men are working. It's still hard to, buy a flat in some town. Not talking about the farm on the countryside, that would be kind of impossible, I think, if you are not being supported from your family. So I see that as the biggest problem. I wouldn't really see the diet or homeschooling as the problem, but the need for money. What do you think about that?
It's obviously true, but I will just try to find a way around it. Like, I don't know, move into like watched a lot of Solar Youth recently, which is this YouTuber popping off a lot,
Yeah, I know
and
him.
he talks a lot about Latin America and basically in Brazil, like southern Brazil, which is full of white people. It's completely cheap. It's extremely affordable to live there. Like most of Latin America is extremely cheap and affordable to live there. And if it's part of Latin America with ton of white people, then it's safe as well. So you could like
Yeah.
move. That's or you can move like I don't know elsewhere, like to Zanzibar, which is like an island next to Africa, which is like I don't like Africa, but Zanzibar seems like okay. Then Asia may I would be kind of more afraid of Asia because I don't know I don't know it just feels less safe. But that thing, and then in the country, I understand that not everyone wants to move out into a whole different country from Europe, but some people want to stay in Europe. That's possible, but actually, I think that flats in towns are expensive. Sometimes can be more expensive than like a house. Like obviously buying a house, it's like a lot, but getting like a rent in a house in the countryside when it's far away from civilization, don't quote me on this. I'm just guessing that it sometimes can
Yeah.
be like more cheap than a flat in a town because towns and cities usually have higher real estate prices. So
Yeah. I agree.
I would maybe look into like if you could find something out there in the maybe you could find something, I don't know. And what I did before is I absolutely don't know if you could apply this, but how I found work on like farms is that I put like, hey, look, I'm trying to. I joined every farmer group on Facebook, and I said like
Yeah.
I look for job on a farm, and like 30 or 40 people got back to me like I can live and work on their farm, and I don't know, but maybe if you checked every farmer group on Facebook and you like looked around, maybe you would find some farmer community in your country where there is like more families and maybe they have like some abandoned houses or some shit. Like try to join a community
Yeah.
where people farm. I don't know how realistic is that, but it's something I would maybe like try to look into.
Yeah, definitely. I also looked into that, and for the people interested in, it's not really like living there. You can, it's just like a vacation, you could say, on the farm. But if they like you, they would keep you. It's called WWOOF,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
WOOF,
yeah.
and you know it.
Yes, I do. It's similar to Workaway
Yes.
also.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you can find really not organic. I think they are marked as organic or bio farmers, and you can search for the one you want, the location and the type of they have the description there, so you can choose from a variety.
Yeah.
But
In all
back
countries in
back
the
to
world as well.
yeah, exactly. But back to the social economic question, you think the solution to the housing cost is to live in like not societies or like new we make communities somewhere in the countryside, like 10 families together?
Well, I didn't word it that way, but Yeah,
Yeah.
it actually could be the case because the more people you live together, the easier it is to like pull it off. Like, I give you an example.
Exactly.
If you have a family, like family house with like 5 people in it, then these 5 people together in that house pay for one vacuum cleaner, one fridge, one
Yeah.
car, one house. Then let's say that you get 2 of these people from this family away, then you don't have 5 people paying 3 houses with I mean you don't have 5 people paying one house with one car, one fridge, and etc., one insurance and
Yeah.
whatever. You have 3 people in this one house, and then you have 2 more people paying 2 houses. So now you have 3 rents, 3 cars, 3 fridges, and etc. If you separate yourself, then you just have more rents, and that's more money, and then you have more things connected to living in a house, like fridge and stuff. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, got you.
If all of them live together, then they have way less to pay, and they can just share it. And I've heard Andrew. This is going to sound kind of funny, but I've seen Andrew Tate talk about this in one of his like. It wasn't a reel. It was like something from his Hustlers University, which I downloaded for free from YouTube. And he talked about some Muslim guys who drove like some ultra expensive car, and he like asked them, "How the hell do you do it?" And he was like, the Muslim was like, our entire family, like my brothers, their wives, and
Yeah.
whatever, we live in a one big house, and we have like, I don't know, fucking 5 incomes supporting one single house, so we can afford a fucking Porsche or whatever, and we can afford this like home. Now, if you live in like a village and you have like 3 or 4 men working towards the same goal and sharing and pooling some money into repairing houses or paying rent or some shit like I don't know. If you just have
Exactly.
more people working toward one goal and more people giving money to one goal, then it's just easier to afford shit. It's just easier to build stuff. Yeah.
So that might be the solution, living in communities somewhere far from cities.
Yeah,
Just
maybe. Yeah. If you had like if you want to build like a fucking community outside of civilization, then way easier than doing it alone is like connect with people with similar goals and then be like, look, I want to buy this property, I need this much money. It's impossible, but if we are 2 or 3 and we work toward the same
yeah.
goal, then we can do it somehow, I guess. Or we can move to get, or you want to move into a different country, but it's like possible, but you cannot just move into a different country in the middle of nowhere. But if you take like 5 people who are fed up with civilization, who speak your own language, and you are like, okay, us 5, let's go into this different country and start a small colony, then that could work, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I agree, but first thing is finding those people that are willing to leave the town with you.
I agree. That's
I think-
extremely hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could find. How many do you think you would find like right now if you had to find as many as you can?
Would you be down?
Yeah.
Well, at least one, that's for sure. Then, I
Yeah.
don't know, 3, 4, like, yeah, 3, like, together with you, it's 2 definitely. Then maybe 3. Like, I think about the Czech people in our group chat. But, like, it's not
Yeah.
that much because, yeah, like, there are people like Raw Meat and Fuck Society and whatever. But if I would go into my group chat of Czech people and I would be like, I'm buying this property, who wants to live there with me? Like, there would be like 3 people out of the whole chat, which is like 40 active members, like 3 or 4 people, yeah. And yeah, actually, I know more people from like other countries, so maybe I could do like 4 or 5 at the most. Yeah, and how many people would you get?
Well, I would only I would get it only from the Czech Primal
Yeah.
group chat. So I think like with you, maybe 3-4 people, yeah. Max 5, but I don't think it takes kind of it takes some balls to move out and be on your own and start a completely new life, build house, or I don't know if you would build it or buy it somewhere, but even if you would buy it, then starting a new life, it takes courage,
Yeah. And also the problem is that all of the people that I have in mind, like none of us make money. We are all teenagers, and like none of us has a job. If we were like, I don't know, in 5 years when we have stable incomes for a few years, then maybe we'll be able to do it. Yeah. But now we don't have the fucking money. Like my goal right now is to make money. Basically, I was basically unemployed for the whole year. I worked on a farm, like on several farms, and made almost no money, but it was kind of fun, so I guess it was worth it. And now after like over an year, I'm going to have like a normal job. I was unemployed for over an year, and now I'm going to have a normal job with normal pay, and it's going to be job in like forest with the chainsaw, which is something I've tried in my school. So yes, it's not going to be complete slavery. It's kind of fun, but
Yeah.
I actually never got a paycheck for like a month. I have been out of school for some years. Like I had a 1 year pause, and then now I'm like 1 year out of school, and yet I've never lasted a month in a job. Bro, I quit after several days, or I let them fire me after several days because I always hated it. Like I worked in this one factory and I was breathing in microplastics. Then I worked this other factory and I was breathing in some chemical dust. Then I worked there and I always found something toxic about the job which made me not want to do it. So I just stopped doing it.
Yeah.
And one time I had a good job as a waiter on one restaurant next to a castle. It was actually fine. Then I was convinced by my friend that I should be a phone salesman, like a Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Like I tried it and I completely failed at it, so I quit that and then I worked on the farms. Yeah,
I remember that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just like that's the YouTube video I'm making. Yeah, it's funny. Like in the YouTube video, when people watch it, I recorded the YouTube video like the hour ago, and I was like in the YouTube video, oh, it's 5. I have to record a podcast, and now they are listening to the podcast. So yeah, if you've seen that video, then this is the podcast I'm talking about in that video. Yeah, but in that video, I basically talk about this year, and I talk about all of my experiences with cold calling and then working on the farms. It's like 2 hours long and it's not done yet because I'm dropping insane story right now. It's fine. It's fire. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So this reference, who will watch it? Who will watch this? They will know.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. I mean, the job is problem. When you want non-toxic job, I haven't really found one yet.
Yeah. I did. I made a. It's two kinds of job. I made like. I want to batch record all of my videos. So today I literally recorded for over 4 fucking hours. Oh, no, it's like 5 hours and I have like one to go. So I can record for the whole December in one day, like a retard. But I made a video about a non-toxic job, and there are two kinds of jobs which are non-toxic. One is work on a farm, which maybe you can find some good, like mostly you can live on the farm like WOF, like the WWOF.
Yeah.
You can do it in your own country, and sometimes you can find a job which will pay you well, maybe, but mostly not. Mostly it's just vacation. Even if you stay there, you don't make money for like future goals. But the other thing is work in a forest with chainsaw. Now there are variations. You can work with a chainsaw, or with the thing for cutting grass, and you can cut the grass around like saplings of small trees,
Yeah.
or you can like count the wood which was like cut down as a tree gamekeeper, or how you do call it in English.
Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of variations, but basically, jobs in the forests are very non-toxic, and I agree that it's bad to destroy nature. But if you don't take a job where you cut down like native forests in order to get as much fucking wood as possible, but you take like some maintenance job, like you there are like forests where there are like rotting, falling trees which are dead, and you are getting rid of that. Or you can cut
Yeah.
you can cut like grass around saplings of trees which are growing, or you can plant trees. Basically, job in the forest, and you are probably not going to find it on the internet. The best way to find a job in the forest is on Facebook groups of works and jobs in the forests. That's the best place to find some forest jobs, and these usually pay a lot of money. Actually, yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. Like I already from the New Year's, I'm going to be like a forest worker with a chainsaw and stuff.
Wow. Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really think I would like to work with a chainsaw. I mean, not that I don't like cutting trees or anything. I'm against cutting trees, but I know it's needed now. But that's not the case. My vision, or how would I call it, is to actually use advantage of the stupidity or undereducated people. I want to become the nutritionist, or how do I say it? Like, just nutritionist, and do something like you tried to do, or Patrick Ivan tried to do. You just have to have really good marketing and really big social media profile, and just copy basic Agenus knowledge to normies, and you will get literally free money for that.
Yeah, if you can do that, then that's awesome. I agree. That's a very healthy business model, honestly. Yeah, I agree. If anyone is willing to pay you for the edges information, which you can get for free, then yeah, sure, take their money. Yeah, I agree. It's cool.
Yeah.
Though the problem is like normies are usually not as receptive, so you usually have to like sugarcoat it. Like, yeah, you can eat some cooked meat, but you need raw milk. You can do this, but you still need to do this. Like you need to like make it more palatable for normies. Yeah, but yeah, it can be done.
Exactly.
And I'm in contact with like, do you know Yakash? Like, right?
Yes.
So he lives in like Bali, and he does exactly this thing, like for Czech people, and he wants to make it in like for English people. And he tells me that he has like friends who are like Primal or whatever on Instagram, and they do coaching, and they coach for like $6,000 per like 1 month per client, because if you find some entrepreneur who is like rich and he cares about his health, then he will pay it for you. And yeah, it's healthy. I agree with this business model completely. Like, it's productive. You are making someone healthy and you are getting money from yeah, completely. Good.
Exactly. It's just about the, will to find the information, or just the way of you finding the information. You are just like digesting all of the books and all the articles for them into a simpler form, like an AI or whatever.
Yeah, it's called synthesizer.
Yeah, exactly the word. Yes. So that's my plan A. Plan B is to live on an oyster farm.
That's a fucking good one, bro.
Yeah, that's it was plan C is living on a regular farm, but oyster farm is really OP. You get oysters. You get to move from your country, because We don't have oysters here, but also heard it's not really good paid, but I searched it and you get some rewards, like you can eat oysters, seafood, whatever. In the one that I have found in Ireland. So that would be like plan B. Plan C is to work on a regular farm with some Jersey cows.
Yeah.
This summer I'm visiting my friend from Germany, Elias. I don't know if you know Health Elias.
I don't, I think.
Yeah, he's not really known, but he has family farm in some town in northeast Germany. Northeast Germany, and he has Jersey cows, beautiful yellow fat steaks, eating all summer, drinking blood with milk, eating organs all summer, sunning all day, just working on the farm, and that will be peak summer, I believe. This will be the summer that I will use all the sun that Germany has to offer me. I will eat the best food, local, fresh, the most fresh I can find foods, the most fresh I have ever eaten, and I will have a good time. I will also learn how to be self-sufficient somehow. If I would like to keep animals or some other like livestock, and I will connect with more primals, especially primal baddies, because he told me that in the villages nearby there are like German girls that are so pretty and eat steak tartare, drink raw milk, and all this, and they are pretty because of that, and I will get to connect with them. That will be insane.
Bro, you have to take me with me. I will pay you. Bro. That sounds awesome.
He offered me that.
What?
Yeah, he offered me that to work there. As like I will even get paid to work and sun with him afterwards, bro.
Bro, that's awesome. Holy hell. OP.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited. I'm really glad I like got in touch with him more. He also visits Czech sometimes, so I will also introduce him to some farms here. But I'm so excited for that.
That's so cool. I will probably have him on my podcast next. Yeah. How is he called
Yeah,
again?
I can link.
Yeah.
I can link you up on Instagram. He's HealthX Elias or something. I will send you the IG later.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Well,
although
and the
you-
last thing,
you go on.
plan D is to have 9 to 5, but that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, bro, that's so good on us. Like for us, the worst case scenario is plan A of the average person.
Yeah,
Like if
exactly.
everything fails and we have to face the worst case scenario, we will do the thing which anyone else does anyway. So it's not that bad. It's bad, but still, it's compared to other people, yeah. But the oyster farm is that's an OP idea. That's so smart. Like oysters are the healthiest goddamn meat. Like they are so healthy.
Yeah.
I just talked about it detoxing you ultra effectively and it being visible in your iris by iridology because of how rich of minerals they are. That's one thing. But the main thing, I'm not going to beat around the bush. The most important thing with the oysters is that they are insanely strong aphrodisiacs, which will make your life very fun if you have a woman who also eats a ton of oysters. Like if you consume infinite amount of oysters, like as much as you want to, then your life is going to be extremely entertaining. That's what I'm going to say.
Yes.
Yeah, and also seafood, from the studies of Weston A. Price, then you know Weston A. Price, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, like he's seen that people who ate like dairy were taller, and people who ate seafood had like the thickest bones, like thickest faces and everything. So oysters are best
Yes.
for developing like Dolph Lundgren like children. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard to find oysters here in Czech.
Yeah, because we don't have a sea.
Yeah, we don't have a sea, and for me and Pilsen, I couldn't find any here. Like sometimes in Makro, like the biggest shop in Pilsen, they sometimes have them, but otherwise you have to go to Prague to get them. And every time I visit Prague, I get oysters.
Cool. Yeah, here in like near Brno, I could find maybe some in Mekro as well, or Kaufland,
Yeah.
or I don't know, like some seafood shops. But the problem is they are expensive as fuck. It's like €2 per
Yeah.
one oyster. It might be worth it, but it's good to get it, but not long term. Like long term, if you want to eat 20 oysters a day with your family every day, then you cannot do that here, even if you are rich. That's just not realistic. That's like, if you're a rich businessman, then your oysters are going to cost you more than your business. You just want to find a better source or something. I don't know.
Exactly. Well, that's why the oyster farm is on the B spot. It's really, really good.
Yeah, yeah. I have it. Actually, the thing which you talked about, like the A thing, you can
Yes.
literally do A and the B, or A and C at the same time, or A and D. Like the A,
Yeah.
you can do social media while doing anything else in your free time. So, and eventually, if you do it long enough, like if you post for 5 years enough and you get better, then it's impossible for A to completely fail. Like at some point, you are going to make money, and probably eventually more money than from the other thing you chose. But it's good to combine it. Yeah. What I want to
Yes.
do is like,
Absolutely.
yeah, I want to like move maybe to Latin America eventually, like Argentina or something like that. Somewhere where there is
Chile.
a sea. Yeah. Somewhere where not really the tropics. I like the seasons and winters and all, but somewhere
Yes.
where the winters are like 10 degrees instead of like minus 10 degrees, and somewhere where it's pretty warm, but at the same time, somewhere high in elevation, like near mountains. So you have a bit, it's
Yes.
colder, but you have way more UV light. So I will have fuck ton of UV light. And in a country where there is the ocean, so I could eat a fuck ton of oysters. And in a country where there is a lot of grass, so I could have Jersey milk. Because Jersey, their milk is just a million times better than normal milk.
Exactly.
Like, if I took liter of raw milk with cream on top of it, then it would probably have less fat than liter of Jersey milk with no cream, because it's just so fatty. Like whenever I make cheese
Yeah.
from it, there is almost no way coming from it. There is just the cheese matter. It's just so much of it. It's so good. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree completely. Your plan is like, well, I don't know if I would like to live in Argentina or Chile. It's like a nice dream, but I don't know. It's still like changing the habitat too much, you know.
Yeah. Well, what is possible is like what I want to have. I want to get enough money somehow to have like community in Czech Republic and at the same time community in Latin America. So winter I can go to Latin America. World War III I can go to Latin America.
Parents, I say, well, what do you want from your child? Do you want an athlete? Do you want a brain? Do you want to mix of the two? What do you want? And if they want a champion athlete, then I'll have them mix liver or heart with other meat instead of milk. If you want brains and body functions, you give them both the milk and the liver together. If you want an athlete superior in all kinds of ways, then you want mainly the liver with other meats.